The Indian police service officers are also being posted abroad. And when they are abroad, naturally the amount of salary that they get is in dollars, and it is definitely much, much higher. So you have the choice. You may work abroad, you may work in India, you may work in the government of India, you may work in the state government. And when you say particularly compare or ask about the Indian police service officers, the type of facilities that the government offers you is unimaginable. You don't have to bother about the government accommodation. The accommodation is reserved for you. Say, for example, I was posted in a place like Leh, Ladakh. The only thing that I had to carry was a suitcase. A suitcase was more than enough for me. Just take a suitcase and go there. Everything is provided by the government. You don't have to carry anything. So the government accommodation is provided. Government vehicle is provided. Chauffeur is provided. There are so many persons who are around you, who are ready to help you in anything that you want to do. So you don't have to employ or engage anyone outside. So what is the salary that you get? You are going to use it for. You have to use it for your day-to-day activity. That's all. And for that, the salary that you get is much, much adequate. You don't have to bother at all. And after you complete, say, maybe 30, 35 years of service, I'm sure you have definitely enough funds with all these pay commissions and DA and whatnot you get. So with which you can have a reasonably good house at a reasonable place. You can educate your children in the best possible circumstances, best possible institutes. So I never had any doubt or any difficulty working throughout my career. There was not a single day or single requirement when I would have felt, yes, I don't have funds, so what should I do for it?
No, that is an amazing feeling. And, I resonate with you completely. And it's been almost like now 9 years since, I have known you so deeply. But are you saying that then the current salary that the MBBS doctors are getting, despite, as you said rightly, that in Mumbai, the more than 10,000 OPDs that, people go through, and so many different patients are being looked at and the needs are being attended. So the people who are serving, making it a very conscious choice not to, choose a private practice or to, choose for that matter an opportunity abroad, and rather to serve in the government hospitals, the current structure of pay is okay. That's one thing. And the second thing is, if you remember the last time when I shared with you when I was doing my workshop in the National Police Academy, you were asking me how many people are from IITs and IIM, and I shared with you, most of the hands, almost like, as you said rightly, about 70 to 80% of the hands were there. And yes, there are a few people, not every one of them. There are a lot of people, a few of them, who left their high-paying jobs and who have come. Now, when people are showing this level of dedication and enthusiasm to serve the motherland or to serve the nation, the pay scale also plays an extremely vital role, isn't it? Because not every one of them do not want to send their children in schools and colleges. Now, if they want to send their kids to international schools, if they want to send their kids to, and provide them with more better facilities, if they want to, go to a movie theater, these days they are adding up, new things are coming up, which are not a part of the pay packages, which are being offered by the government, right? For example, the government does not fund an IPS officer to go and watch a movie with the family in an IMAX theater. And if, let's say, he has to go and use his own private vehicle for his private affairs and private engagements, then he has to put the money from his own pocket. And there are lots of engagements that they're getting into. Like, I know a lot of IPS officers who want to, play golf at specific golf clubs. So then they have to take a membership. Maybe they might get a little bit of discount. But when they are increasing their lifestyle, and there's no harm, right, to have a good lifestyle for themselves and their family. So the pay structure which they are getting, will it be motivating them for a very long time to be in the service, or
Let me share my personal experience with you. See, I was posted in a fairly good big city, and as you said, number one, there is hardly any time for the officers to go and watch a movie. But at the behest of the theater owner or the manager there, they said, "No, no, sir, this is a good movie, and you must come and watch it and all that." I said, "Okay, fine." So one day and one particular time, maybe I don't know whether it was a first show or whatever it is. I said, "Okay, I'll come." And at that time precisely, there was some other urgent requirement, so I had to complete that, and then I reached about, I think, 10 to 15 minutes late for that particular theater. And till I reached, the entire crowd were waiting for me. And they said, "Okay, when the officer comes, we want to see the movie only with him." So when I reached, after that, the movie started, and then everybody enjoyed it.
So this was like a small.
So that is the.
Was it like a small place? I guess, like a small village.
No, not village. It is a very big place. As I said, this place called Aurangabad in Sambhajinagar today.
Okay.
I was the assistant superintendent of police there. And it's a fairly, I mean, there were not less than 40 to 45 theaters in the town that time also.
Are you saying, sir, that the current pay structure is good? Is that what I conclude from you? Are you saying there is no need for increase of salary for an MBBS doctor, and there is no need of increase of salary for an IPS officer at the entry level? It's perfectly.
No. See, you have to. It is not a question of perfect for an IPS officer or MBBS or something like that. The point is there is a hierarchy, and the hierarchy is where you start. So you start as assistant superintendent of police, or in the medical professional. If you are in the government hospital, you may start as an assistant professor, or you may join as a I don't know the precise designation what they are called. Yeah, something like that. So there is a hierarchy, and in the hierarchy, see, the another important thing is that if you are MBBS and you have completed your MD, you are given additional incentive, or you are given maybe 3 increments in advance, or you are getting the promotion to the next level very shortly. Similarly, in the IPS also, within you have joined the service, and within 3.5 years, I mean, out of that 2 or 2.5 years goes only in the training. Thereafter, you work for 1 year, and then you are promoted to the what is known as the senior scale, or you become the SP. Similarly, from SP level also, you within 5 years you are promoted further in the higher grade. So the promotions are very fast in these services, and with these promotions, it is not that there is a stagnation or something. You keep on getting higher and higher increments also, as well as much better pay package. And as I said, it is not only the salary, but also the amount of amenities which come along with it. The amenities which you are provided are unparalleled. Even say in a private place, if you work in a private company, they may give you a good, apparently looking nice salary as a pay package to start with. But then they don't. You are on your own, absolutely. You have to hunt for a house, you have to hunt for a vehicle, you have to hunt for your all the supporting staff. And if you want to go anywhere, well, you have to do everything on your own. Here it is completely different. You just say that you want to do so and so thing, or you want some so and so thing. Within no time, somebody will be assisting you to complete it. So that kind of support which you get in kind you have to, you are not, you are being compensated. You may or may not realize that I'm not getting high salary. And secondly, let me tell you one more thing. See, I was doing MBA in Bajaj Institute of Management in Mumbai. And the director was Mr. Venkutaya Patil. She was the director at that time there. And architect, whether you are working as a say a doctor, whether you are working as an engineer, whether you are working as a government servant or a IPS or whatever it is. So there are 7, 8 different things.
Whether you are working as a government servant.
What are they? Now these are, say, like, one is salary, second is the status, third is the satisfaction, fourth maybe amenities. So when you calculate on this matrix and make a total, at the end of it, you will find one person may get salary, but he does not get status.
Yeah, you said
Third person,
yeah, I remember this.
yeah, third person, he will not get any other amenities. I'll tell you one concrete example. See, I had a friend who was a squadron leader, and he said, when I wear my uniform, I feel very proud. I don't bother how much salary I get or don't get. I have got an aircraft. I can fly to anywhere, any part of the country. I may be posted in Srinagar, but I will be flying to Tiruvananthapuram. I will be going to Kolkata, various places. Now, he happened to be posted in Mumbai. And his son was working as one of the multinational corporations. So there was some function or something, some activity, something. So he had to visit the secretariat, which is known as Mantralaya in Mumbai. When he went there, the moment he got down in his uniform, everybody was in a stand-to position. They were saluting him and they were receiving him right up to the minister. So they were immediately ushering him. He said he was being welcomed and all that. Now his son, he happened to have some work and he wanted to go to the Mantralaya. Oh my goodness. Nobody bothered about him. He had to stand in a long queue. 100 people were ahead of him. Nobody even took cognizance of him. With great difficulty, he was able to manage to talk to the undersecretary. Forget about the secretary or the minister at all. So this is if you want to make a comparison, this is the comparison.
No, I completely
When
agree.
you
I agree with you. I agree with you when it comes to an IPS officer. But when you draw a contrast between an IPS officer and MBBS, a medical officer, who is decided to serve instead of, going to a foreign country, if he or she can, and, choose to be in a private profession of their own, rather than, putting the services and their time, valuable time, their expertise and their education, especially after cracking the most toughest examination, and continuously they got to learn. And when they are in a profession, do you think the salary that they're getting around 66,000 is okay? Because even after 7 years to 8 years of service, that's the salary they're going to get. And obviously, they're not going to get the privileges that an IPS officer is going to get. They're not in that great support system. And so that's exactly what I'm asking you. I completely get it that, for an IPS officer, they got to look at many other things that comes along with it. There's no comparison, and in that way, if you look at it, their lifestyle itself goes into several lakhs of rupees every month, because you get a big bungalow to stay, you get a nice car, you don't have to bother about the petrol, you have at least 3 or 4 people all by your side, and to employ a person and to take to give their salaries properly is itself a big challenge. They don't have to be bothered about the salaries and everything. It's completely understandable. But coming to this, MBBS medical officers, you think that is justified?
No, see, first of all, let me say, very, very few persons who are MBBS are joining the government hospitals. Most of them, in fact, they complete their post-graduation if they can. Those who cannot, they start their hospitals, or they have a collaboration with a couple of other their colleagues, and they start a medical hospital of their own. In case, I mean, let me tell you, just last week itself, I met the chief executive officer, who himself is a very reputed doctor of Jupiter Hospital. Jupiter Hospital is a a very reputed hospital here. Now he said, if I am able to get an MBBS, mark his words. He said, if I am able to get MBBS, I thank myself. Today I am unable to get any MBBS to work under me. It is only I have to get the BAMS or BHMS or such other persons to work even in the operation theaters or even in the OPD and other places. So MBBS is a very rare commodity, and they are not available for working in the government hospitals at all. Very few of them. And in case they happen to be there, then they are privileged. They are certainly looked after. They are given special benefits like, say, sabbatical, where they are encouraged to go and work in the complete their MD or MS, and all the facilities are provided to them.
Is it true, sir?
Nobody questions them.
Government hospital, is it true?
Yeah, the government servant as a MBBS, he is provided the sabbatical, and during the sabbatical he is provided the salary also. He is provided the assurance that in case you complete it for 5 years at least, you shall serve the government hospital or wherever you were working earlier. So all those guarantees are there. Today is a situation where people are really worried whether they will get a job at all. They don't get job if they go for a leave. If they go for a 2 years or 3 years leave, nobody is going to wait for them and keep a seat vacant for them. But in government, no, they get. The seat is reserved, the place is reserved, the house is reserved for them. Everything is available. They have to just go and study.
What do we conclude from a conversation, sir? Do you think so? Should I come to a conclusion that the salary that is being offered for a medical officer is good? There need not be at the moment any jump or any rise. Do you think it's
no? That is not the issue. See, as far as the rise in the salary is concerned, the government, as you know, it is seized with the issue. Already there is a more than say 45% of the DA is being provided over and above the salary. In addition to that, now the government is thinking of next pay commission, where even the say person working as the class 4 employee, he will be drawing a salary of 35,000 rupees. So the class 1 officer, who is a medical officer, I am sure his salary will also be, I mean, I can't precisely say how much it will be, but it will be at least 15% to 20% higher than what he is getting today.
So will it be?
And that will come. It will come in the maximum another year or so.
So do you think that will it be like a fair demand or a fair seeking of a medical officer who has done his or her MBBS, when they have chosen to serve the government and look at patients? Because I have done a few workshops with the medical officers with certain government hospitals, and the kind of work that they do is incredible, sir. They see so many patients. You are much aware of that. And despite that, probably the salary that they feel, I personally, this is my personal opinion which I want to share with you, and probably people like you could share it with the higher officials, because there was this gentleman called Mr. Jaiprakash Narayan, who was an IAS officer who started his own political party in Hyderabad. So he said, Karthik, I have always been speaking about this issue where I said that a medical officer, if they complete their MBBS in a government hospital, at least their salary should be about $1.5 lakh, which is like a very genuine demand. But I don't know whether the government has that level of budget or that capabilities to take this forward. Everything is a big thing, because you're not looking at a 1 month salary, you're looking at like lifelong, and then the increments which come along with that. But is this a fair seeking in today's term that a medical officer getting should at least get a 1.5 lakh rupees salary? Because if they have a family, a child, a kid, and in a city like Hyderabad and Bangalore, where will that money be actually enough, considering the lifestyle?
No, see, that is why the government compensates them. It is known as the cost of living.
Okay.
See, depending upon the place where you are posted, suppose if you are posted in a metropolitan place, like as you mentioned, Hyderabad or Bengaluru or Mumbai or Delhi, these are known as the, say, metropolitan areas. There, the amount of money also given to them is much higher in terms of everything, like their HRA is higher, the DA is higher, the various facilities are much more, various things are there. But if you are in a, say, class 2 city, naturally the cost of living is low, you get lesser amount. Now there are persons who have completed their MBBS and working as medical officers. They are posted in a place like, say, remote areas where they hardly need to spend anything on. There is everything is available almost at a throwaway price. And there, if you keep on saying that no, as a medical officer, they must get very high salary and all that, that will not be adequate. You see, it has to, the discrimination has to be made depending on the place of working. And accordingly, the government is definitely seized, and the compensation is paid accordingly. So it is the mental satisfaction which you have to look for, the emotional intelligence which you are focusing on. You have to look for that. If you are in a hurry to get everything, say, when I was working in Delhi, one businessman told me, he said, the problem with the government servants is that the day they join, they feel that they should have a huge car, the huge bungalow, huge this, that, etc. And the money is not enough. If you start your, say, lifestyle with a step by step, initially when you don't really need so many things, you start with a small vehicle, small place of residence, various things, and then over a period, you keep on going up and up, and you will be certainly able to take care of each and everything.
Right. So valuably said. So you are saying that it is paropakaram idam shariram. I think that's how we should conclude it for all the IPS officers and MBBS people. Whatever is the progress that will happen in gradual terms. Just put the entire focus on joy and not on salary.
I mean, you don't have to be unhappy. That's what I'm saying. Whatever your daily requirements, that will be taken care of. You don't have to be particularly worried that I'm getting less salary and all that. And if you are so much worried, well, the best thing is that you join that particular area where you feel you are getting a good amount. There are many people who have left from the medical also. They have gone to some other area, or I mean, there are n number of places they can leave and go. So the choice is yours. You don't have to regret about it.
Maybe people will not be completely convinced. We will have another series about this, sir, and it's so wonderful to see you smiling and glowing.